To Arlington, Virginia. Susie, good morning on our Independence line.
Good morning. Can I talk?
You sure can. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Thank you. I have 3 points, quick points, 3 quick points. Number one, the anti-Semitic does not apply only to the Jews. It applies to all the Middle Eastern people, not the Jews of this country. It's on to all the Jews of all the Middle East people. Number two, what Harry Truman did, he wanted to get rid of the Jews from here to put them in Palestine. Number three, why Hitler hated the Jews? What did they do in Europe to be hated that much? And they come to this country and they wanted to get rid of them, so they sent them to Palestine. And I want to tell your guest, he lives in a house. If somebody come and kick him out of the house, what would he do? He would never sleep at night until he gets his house back. That's what Hitler did to the Jews. They did it to the Palestinians. They kicked them out of their homeland, and now the Palestinians have to get their homeland back. And no justice, no peace. Never going to be peace in the Middle East until the Palestinian people get back their homeland.
Well, that's a lot. You talked about anti-Semitism. It is a broad word, and there is a lot of anti-Semitism. There's a lot of hatred, bigotry against a lot of different races of people. The thing you discussed with Harry Truman did not want to establish a state for the Jews. He tried to not do that. We have a document in the State Department called the State Department's complicity in the murder of 6 million Jews, because the State Department did not support the U.S. government bombing the railroad tracks or liberating the Jews in the war, during the war, because they thought it would cause the Allies to not support them. The Jews couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't get into the U.S. They couldn't get into Canada. Most of the countries, Shanghai let them in. They had nowhere to go. They had absolutely nowhere to go. What was fueling all of this? Jew hatred. Why did Hitler hate the Jews so much? Because he believed they were varmints, they were rats, they were swines, they were pigs. He believed all the problems in the world were created by Jews. And he felt justified in murdering 1 million Jewish children. You have a book called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion. There are many Muslims believe that book today, that there's a Jewish conspiracy. All the banks, all the media are controlled by the Jews. AIDS was invented by the Jews, and all the wars were caused by the Jews. Now, this is anti-Semitism and it's Jew hatred, and it's not going to solve the Palestinian problem. If the Palestinian people have hope, if the Palestinian children are not taught to kill through the kindergarten camps, and by the way, the Palestinians didn't start all this. This came through the Islamic radicals. Hamas came into the Palestinian territories and evangelized these children and exploited these children. The Palestinians were nationalists when I first met them, and they weren't involved in suicide bombing.
A couple more calls here. Springfield, Illinois. Craig on our Republican line from Mike Evans. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Hi. Well, Mike, you're always welcome. My home and my church. I've followed you for many, many years, and always appreciated your intelligence and what you've been doing. I wrote you a letter back in the early 80s about rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem. And I was wondering if you could speak upon what's going on up there, because I think that's pivotal in what's going on, and I think you're doing a great job. And I think if people knew more of what you were all about and more about you, they would, they would listen to you more.
Well, there's been more terrorist attacks in the city of Jerusalem than any city in the world, and there's a reason for that. It's because Jerusalem represents the center of gravity for the nation of Israel, and therefore radical Islam wants this city. They really do. Radical Islam wants the city because they believe they can usher in the Mahdi. I met with Ahmadinejad's people, and they said that they told me, a spiritual advisor told me, Bill, that Ahmadinejad would be ushering in the Mahdi in 2 to 3 years. Now, this is a little boy who disappeared in a well, 11 years old, and I said, well, what if he gets ushered in? How will he get ushered in? He said, through an apocalypse. And I said, once he's ushered in, all the Demis, the Christians and the Jews, will be converted instantaneously to Islam. Now, this is a very dangerous existential belief system, but it goes back to the belief system that the Mahdi will liberate Jerusalem and the temple site also. It's tied into something. It's, the majority of Muslims don't believe this. Probably 10% or less believe this. But that 10% are very dangerous people.
Next to Rincon, Georgia, Jim on our Independence line. Hi.
Hello there. Hi, Mike. I just wanted to let you know, I was in the service when Jimmy Carter was president. I was in the infantry at the time, and I thought Jimmy Carter was a very good man, personally. I think he was highly intelligent and tried to do his best for this country. And I felt that the Federal Reserve worked some bad things against him, driving the interest rates up. He was kind of wanting to pay off the national debt. That was one of his main concerns. I also feel that if he would have made a different move on Iran and given them a short notice, like 24 or 48 hours, and told them that they were going to be heavily invaded and possibly annihilated, that maybe it would have made a little difference. But I really think that this world is standing on an abyss. And this is my opinion. But I think it's time that everybody toned down the rhetoric a little bit and look toward maybe just trying to lay the weapons aside for a while and use a little bit of dialogue to possibly work things out. There's been way too much hatred on all three sides. When I say three sides, I'm meaning Christians, which I am one, that in the fundamentalist basis is love thy brother as thyself, and the Jewish people who believe in God and feel that they shouldn't go out and cause problems, but they will answer sternly if people are causing them problems, and the Muslims who feel that they have just as much right to Jerusalem as the Israelis.
Jim, thanks for your call. Last call of the morning. Your response to...
I believe that's true. I was at the Madrid Peace Conference, and I saw awful lot of hatred in people's eyes. I believe that with the Palestinians, there needs to be forgiveness for injustices. The same way for the Jewish people and for the Christians, people have hurt each other. The dilemma that we face in the Middle East is so awful. The Iranian people know the facts. They know we meddled. Listen, if Air France did not fly, if one plane did not fly from Paris, Khomeini would have never been back in Iran to take over the country. Why did we permit that plane to fly? We gave the signal for it to fly. Why did we fund Khomeini? A lot of this stuff should be told because the Iranian people should be apologized. We should apologize to them for the things we did do to destabilize their country. And the Muslims shouldn't be blamed for al-Qaeda. We had more to do with the creation of al-Qaeda than the Muslim world ever had. And we need to acknowledge that.
Do you think our apologizing to the Iranians would ease tensions between Iran and Israel?
I think telling the truth, period, about history would help a lot. Because the Iranians know what the truth is. And the majority of the Iranian people are fine, kind, gentle people. You have a revolutionary theocracy right now that's trying to brutalize these people. They're darling people. We don't need to deny the truth. We need to tell it. It's a historical fact.
And Mike Evans, the author of the new book on Jimmy Carter, The Liberal Left and World Chaos, and more information on you and the book available at timeworthybooks.com.
Yes. .com, yes.
Thanks for being with us this morning.
Delighted, Bill.